and welcome to a much belated episode of the House of Decline podcast. The reason why I stopped doing it was complete anhedonia. Once again, you are subject to my struggles with depression. But I think it's also I had like a crisis of confidence about where to take the podcast, because there's so much commentary. You can hear a million movie review podcasts. You can hear a billion podcasts about the freaky Beatles. You can hear, here's the George Harrison podcast where we interview 1,000 people imitating George Harrison. Actually, that sounds pretty good. Maybe we'll do that one. I'm just pitching these off the jump. But so I wanted to do something that was more connected to place and time and reality. And I'm playing in a band now. I'm booking shows because I feel a newfound confidence due to training out, due to trooning out. I have unbound confidence. So I'm playing music the way I want. I always wanted to do. And part of playing music is navigating a scene, the scene of the Southern Ontario weirdo punk music scene. And it's actually been a joy. Now that I enjoy going out and seeing and meeting people, because I'm no longer vomitously hateful of my own body, it's been nice to navigate this and meet people. And as such, I've booked a show on March 5th at Collective Arts, where you can see my band, Anti-Spectacular, and this band, the band that we are interviewing today, Frankie Teardrop. We have Quartz and Matilda from Frankie Teardrop here on the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing pretty good.
Hell yeah. Music. Why do you do music? Why?
Because it's the only thing I know.
Yeah. If I didn't do this, I'd be a fucking serial killer. Okay. And but I mean, it's also I listened to your record. I love your record, Black Grasshopper Stew. People should listen to it. You call yourselves no wave. You're within that. How do you come to discover that genre and to decide to embark on the esoteric no wave path?
Ooh, too much free time. The legalization of weed really helped. Just being able to walk down the street and be like, "This is my afternoon now." Yeah, I think so. And then also never being truly really good at guitar helped, and so I had to find a new third thing to do with it.
Oh no, but you are good. I love your guitar playing. As people would call it, it's gestural.
I agree with that.
Yeah. No, but I love that. You can see a million tutorials on Instagram of someone how to here's your major seventh arpeggiations, but in terms of how to play with that sort of communicative quality, that sort of mimicry of human speech and stuff like that. It's hard to teach people that. You sort of got to feel it out.
Yeah.
What was your intro? You said you knew a guy in high school that did too much acid, and he convinced you to like all this stuff.
Yeah, so it was just a lot of my first reaction to a lot of this was just how could anyone like this? And then you kind of crave that kind of that sense of discomfort and how it puts you off like that. And so I think that's a lot of what my musical discovery has been, is just always looking for something that sounds a little even weird, keep pushing myself to weirder and weirder extents, trying to chase that dragon of hearing the Residents for the first time.
Yeah. Absolutely. What the fuck is this? Why would anyone make this? That's the question there, is why would anyone make this?
Yeah. I thought Third Reich and Roll was pretty reprehensible for the longest time, but that's a damn good record. That's
I'm always singing Land of a Thousand, German Land of a Thousand Dances. Yeah. When did you discover that? In high school? At age young?
Yeah, it definitely started in high school, and then first year of university, getting more into it, and then COVID happens, and suddenly, I got nothing to do, right? So, so that was definitely a big jump in that, and that's when I started getting more into free jazz, and then kind of the worlds between jazz and the more experimental rock and roll I was kind of already into. And that's kind of, I definitely say the no wave kick happened right at COVID.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very no wavy feeling disease in a lot of ways. Matilda, how about you? Was it a same similar deal, like COVID stuff?
Not totally actually. I have been like into like boundary pushing music for like quite a while. I remember like listening to Trout Mask Replica for like the first time when I was like midway through university and like not getting it at all.
Yeah.
And then I like found it one day at a record store, bought it for like kind of a bit and listened to it again. And I was like, oh, this is like genius.
Yeah.
And like and then it wasn't till like a while after I met Quartz that I got into no wave specifically, but I have been into like other kind of like I've always been seeking like kind of outsider kind of music that's like sounds very strange.
Like Jandek. I don't know if Jandek is your. I like Jandek is that kind. No, like what? Like what?
I used to listen to a lot of like psychedelic rock in high school.
13th floor elevators.
If not
Love. I'm trying to think of like who are the good side. You named the acts.
I mean, it's like I feel like it's like a cliche at this point, but I was like really into King Gizzard for a while.
Oh, that's fine. That was actually it's cliche for Zoomers. I forgot. Like every Zoomer loves King Gizzard, and it's a real big thing with you.
Those
but like
with y'all.
Good.
Yeah.
But like a few of the records they were coming out with like in the early like 2020s and like a little bit before, I think are still like really fantastic. Like, like Flying Microtonal Banana. Introduction to them, and I still think that record's like really, really good. And yeah, it's like I eventually met Quartz, and they introduced me to like a lot of music that I immediately took on to.
How did you meet Quartz? I'm curious because it's like it's always we're talking about like a Jane Lane Daria sort of. It feels like relationship. Like how did you? Was it at school or was it like did you go to the same I don't know place? You say.
Matilda was at University of Waterloo, and I was at Laurier at the time. And then we had a few mutual friends. And
well, I mean, one mutual friend.
Yeah.
That is still a very close friend of ours who did the art for our album, actually.
Nice.
Shout out to AJ.
Yeah, I've known AJ for like 10 years, I think. And I was living. I moved back to Waterloo like post COVID because I was living here for a little while. Then COVID happened. Then I left, and then I came back. And it was like at that time where I was introduced to Quartz by them, and we became very fast friends.
And just bonding over weirdo. It's because I imagine Kitchener, Waterloo. The weirdo scene is a little. Not as widespread as some other places, or is it because like there's less to do, so people find more specific? They get gummo with it, you know.
I definitely describe it as a gummo scene. You know, a little bit of trash humpers too. I don't know. Like the weirdo scene in Kitchener is definitely pretty small, but it's pretty devoted. There's definitely some good people we found through it.
There's sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just because it's not a bad scene.
I was going to say there's like a shockingly active noise scene in Kitchener currently that's like really started up over like the past 2 years. There's like multiple independent cinemas in like KW. One, not so much anymore, but something that Quartz and I really bond over a lot is like film. We watch a lot of just like weird shit, whatever we can find, really.
Criterion.
Log into Criterion Collection right now.
Yeah.
The Peter Weir retrospective I heard is great.
Yeah. No, it's okay that I'm watching Face Off again because it's on Criterion. So it's like highbrow now. I'm going to ignore the Bitter Tears of Petra von Kant, which I should have seen, but I don't want to because it's intense and gay. And I'm going to watch Face Off, which is a different type of intense and gay.
Face Off is probably a top 10 movie of all time.
It's great. I love that movie.
It's a pretty good film.
Oh my God. Castor Troy. What kind of movies are, because like the music that you make has that free jazz and noise and improvisation has that cinematic or scenic quality to that. Does that inform your stuff?
Yeah, I think like a lot of genre movies and a lot of lower budget stuff where the idea is to get away with what you can get away with, and letting the constraints, shape the final product, are both ideas we take into music as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then also just like trying to be funny and have a good time.
Yeah.
Even if like what you're doing is deathly fucking serious to you, to not take it too seriously.
Yeah, that little release valve.
Yeah,
of tension, so that I mean, some people get very egoistic about it's so funny, like being in a free jazz scene and people are really intense about it, but they're making like saxophone fart noises, and it's like, come on, I know you need to project an image. I mean, that's why I have like all I've been listening to recently is jazz. I've like eschewed pop music entirely because I think there's like a refreshing thing with jazz music and experimental music too, where it's less about sort of the worship of some sort of a personality or godhead, and it's just more about participating in something that's greater contextually than you. I don't know. Do you seek that in music, or would you rather like be a personality or like something like that?
I mean, there's a microphone in front of me, so the folks with brainworms definitely do.
You want attention. We all want attention, right? We want a cool video of us, and
get the dog on camera. Get the dog on
I'm
camera
trying
right
to
now.
get the dog on camera. Do you want to see the dog on camera? You have to vamp while I position the dog on camera. Say some words.
This is just gonna be the silent portion of the podcast now.
I mean, like, I understand what you're saying about that, but also, like, I do not have that belief about myself,
Check out that dog.
Oh, yeah.
This is the dog. This is Diego.
Hi,
He's
Diego.
being very nice right now. And he interrupts recording sometimes, but I don't have a shock collar for him. So he just I struggle with that too. That like I want to be Hunter Schafer goddess, I want to, but also like it's so there is something about it that is like I don't know, like I was using Twitter for a while, and because it all went to shit, now I have to use Instagram.
Why? What happened to Twitter?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. And Instagram, the thing about Twitter, it's very terrible, but the general format of it is silence. Of like, is Instagram your social media of choice, or like, what do you use?
Yeah, I mean, the band is definitely all Instagram. Just because that's where people see things. That's just out of necessity, I think.
Yeah.
And then I post about the Blue Jays a lot on Twitter, but ain't nobody see it.
Fucking Vladdy Guerrero, fucking Okamoto. We lost Tucker and fucking Bichette. No, damn.
Yeah, it's been a mixed off season for sure.
Whatever goes our way. I really like Okamoto. I have a lot of. Dylan Cease, I'm like cautiously optimistic about. I'm just waiting for Ye Savage to like have like a fuck you year, like a Roy Halladay year.
Yeah, I think almost everyone in our starting rotation has a chance to have like their ceiling is crazy high. Like it could really be a top 3 rotation in the sport. Or Ye Savage could only pitch half the season and Cease could struggle, but I'm choosing to ignore that.
I think there's a definite get on a baseball tangent here, but if I know how Schneider works pitchers, I think the goal with Cease is to just have him be like a 3-inning guy who can deliver for those 3 innings, and then let like a suspiciously much stronger bullpen than we had take over. Yeah.
Oh my God. I've been looking back at like early games from last season, and half of the names that pop up in relief, I'm like, I don't remember this fucking guy at all.
Yeah. And we've been pruning it, and and we'll have another banner year of the most reliable closer on earth, Jeff Hoffman, everybody. No, I love Jeff Hoffman. Don't get me wrong. He delivered sometimes.
Yeah, 2 of the 3 games I went to see live last year, Jeff Hoffman blew in the 9th inning for no fucking reason. So I have a personal vendetta that I'm trying to get past. Because I know it wasn't a great season for him, but he's really not like that bad.
No, he's I would even call him an above average closer, but it's you remember the bad moments. No one remembers the him striking out the final side of the Mariners in the ALCS game, but people remember that hanging sweeper to Rojas.
Yeah.
And oh God, that was amazing. I was not into sports before this year, and I got really into the Jays this year because, of course, everyone did. And seeing them lose that World Series was amazing. It was like I never felt anything like that. Just like this pure shot of just hours of cortisol. And then nowhere for it to go. So for just days, I was lashing out at people. I think Lindsay Ellis
care about something.
Yeah, care about anything at all. But it's also just, it's the story you want to tell about Toronto and the regionality of stupid Canada to begin with. That, well, it's a team that in no one metric do we outstrip anyone else, but from pure friendship. Yeah. We're making this work. We're beating the Yankees because of pure stick-to-itiveness and know-how. It was really satisfying beating the Yankees, though. I am very happy with that.
Those games felt so good.
Oh my God, the Yankees lose! I say that so much. So. And in a way, baseball is a little like free jazz. No, not really. Well, actually, that's I can tie it back to it because what I think about, what I like about baseball and how it's different from every other sport is the constant anticipation, the constant waiting, and that gives it that sort of even a quality that your music or a lot of improvised music has, is that the sort of long sections and then suddenly something happens or there's been a change and you haven't noticed when it happens, and that quality of it. How do you what do you think of when you think of textural music like that, or when you're spacing out to a noise performance? Do you do a 433 where you become suddenly aware of the room, or are you trying to picture something more programmatic, or an image comes to your mind when you're listening to that music?
Yeah, I think honestly, I think I'm hearing it and interpreting it as improvisation the same way I would if it was under typical melodic harmonic guidelines. I'm still listening pretty intently. I'm still listening for the changes, quote unquote, even if there's not really any harmonic change. I'm still listening to how they're reacting to themselves, and that sort of thing. I've definitely seen quite a few noise performances where about 10 minutes into it, I'm like, yeah, there's nothing for me to pick up on here. We're just gonna be sitting in noise wall for the next 20 minutes. But I like to give people the benefit of the doubt and assume that it's an improvisation that's as disciplined as any other.
Yeah, it's funny because it's funny you say, because you'd think in a genre where there are no rules, there wouldn't be differing types of quality of performance, but there really are. There is better free jazz somehow. And it's like you said, are they listening to each other? Are they sort of picking up? Are they having that musical conversation?
I definitely feel like when you see a group of people who are who are making some sort of very noisy and improvised music, but very clearly know what everyone is doing, and they're very well rehearsed in this, I find it creates almost a transcendent property for me, where if you're in that space and it just keeps going, but it still fits so well together, is just an amazing experience for me, and it's something that I've only had very few times.
Oh yeah, can you name any shows that you've been to that filled that with you?
I feel like I talk about this band too much. Maybe Courts could attest to this, but there's this Toronto band called Cute, or actually they're from Hamilton.
Okay.
And I saw them play in a basement in Kitchener twice.
Yeah.
And one of the loudest bands I've ever seen. And they just play without stopping. I think their first set that I saw for them was like half an hour of just constant playing. And then the other one was like 45 minutes. And I think it was supposed to be longer, but like some equipment started breaking, so they just
it's too loud.
But like they're definitely like a band to see live, but when they like, it's so like drawn out in what they do, and it is very closely tied to their recorded music, but it kind of just takes it to another level of just them droning on the same things for so long, even though there's like slight changes that occur with every part of it, and it evolves into something else like constantly.
Oh yeah, I love that approach. The like I'm always. Did you ever know Eliane Radig?
I don't think so.
She was I don't know why I have to Peter Griffin everything out. She was Eliane Radig, French minimalist composer. God, I gotta stop doing that. No, she was great. There's Ilas Resonantes is a thing that I would recommend. But it's also that the just ambient music in general, that music of small changes, where and even embedded within sort of the early theory of John Cage is the idea that it's music you can't help but stop paying attention to, just because it challenges your ability to like focus on individual notes and stuff, because you're trying to pick out stuff within the texture and it's just not working. So it essentially forces you to listen to the space around you. You lose track of the music, and then suddenly, like you get back into it again because it changed without you realizing it. And that sort of moment of shock is always brilliant.
Yeah. I got into a good Twitter argument about John Cage with Boots Riley.
Oh no! Why was Boots Riley? What contention?
He was like 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. That's not music. And I was like, come on, Boots.
Come on, Boots Riley. Has working for Amazon dulled your senses? I know you're self-aware about that.
Just found out about Duchamp's The Fountain. It's just a fucking urinal.
It's just a fucking. I've seen the fountain. I've seen the regiment. No, I love 433. It's How do you explain to people how do you explain to normies you unironically think it's the best piece of music ever written? No, it's really good because it's about our relationships with each other, and the context in which you live, and the space in which you inhabit, and increased awareness. It's a focused meditation as music. It's about the essential quality of being human within the space. No, it's just silence. It's stupid. It's boring. It's dumb. I could do that.
I was just gonna say, I could do that.
Yeah. No, but that's the other thing that because for me, for like a lot of my life, music was just like this really insular self-recording project, this real R. Stevie Moore, I like to stay home thing. Did you guys start off like really networking in the scene and like playing a lot of shows locally and stuff like that? Is that what it's been to you?
Yeah, I was in a band before this, and then I made some connections through that, and I think that's kind of how we booked our first show. And we're close friends with the Golden Apple in Kitchener, which used to host shows, and so that was pretty much all of our early gigs and our start. So I suppose that's networking, but
it's networking.
I got 3 beers in me,
Yeah. And I mean, we just like know a lot of people in and around scenes now, like especially around Kitchener, but also in Hamilton now, and like a little bit Toronto that like we've built up. But it's just like, it's just going out and talking to people mostly, to be honest. I feel like most of the friends that I have now are people that I've met through talking to people at shows.
Yeah.
Do you think there was this, because I've noticed this general thing amongst everyone, but especially amongst like COVID brain poison Zoomers, where a mass disgust with social media and this real desire to, this great IRLing is happening. And I'm wondering are you informed by that, or is it just something that you had always done, something that you had always thought to do?
I mean, like, definitely it's been a help to local scenes and to music in general that people are more and more drawn to this, and that having events to go to is a cool thing to do again, and people are waking up from their apathy and malaise. I don't know though. It's hard because again, like COVID happened in my first year of university, and then one day I woke up and I was an adult who hadn't socialized in their entire adult life. You know, so it was definitely just like an attempt to change that and to meet people at first.
Yeah.
Like, where do you meet like-minded people? The fucking Golden Apple, apparently. What was that place like?
Amen. Basement, 50 cap, greatest people on earth running it there. Pretty consistent sets. The Golden Apple, the 2 years of the Golden Apple, golden years were beautiful times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. I think it was because they were open a while before we met them, and then your previous band had a show there, and that's where we first met them, because like before Quartz and I were in a band together, we were just like hanging out, and I was going to all those shows that their previous band was in, or that their previous band did. And I remember us going to the Golden Apple for the first time and like really connecting with the people. And then that summer they were putting on a show almost every weekend, and we went to almost every single one, I think.
And this is like noise shows or like punk shows or like a gamut of stuff?
It's pretty across the board. Like it highlighted pretty much everything in the local scene. A lot of, riding the line of like post-hardcore stuff. But yeah, pretty wide array of shows. I remember going one night and it was like a country night. And that was a weird night with a bunch of horrible sets. And all the bands were assholes.
That's great. They had just booked some, like, they booked normie country acts, like they had booked like some Jason Isbell type person or something like that.
I feel like I recall like a lot of like bar covers that night.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, and the venue didn't book the shows. Like they would just have people message them, like, oh yeah, like I want to play a show at your venue, and and it would just be on the bands to set it up. They did like very little legwork in that, so pretty much people would hear about them as a venue and that it was a popular venue, and then book a show there. So I feel like that's why there was such a wide variety of just people that played there.
Yeah. Also rare case where the venue itself brings in like 60 to 70% of the crowd.
Yeah.
Which is pretty huge, especially starting out and, not really having much of a quote unquote fan base who will show up for your shows, knowing that there was always a guaranteed audience there.
Yeah.
Which is hard to come by with venues nowadays.
It was just like a group of people that was their major socialization spot, so they would just show up no matter what. Yeah. Those are incredible. I love it when you find a place like that.
Yeah.
Wow. What is the Kitchener Water? Because you said it's like a lot of noise. Is there like a big band in the Kitchener? Is there the Kitchener Waterloo band right now?
There's a few popular ones. I mean, there's like A Horse Named Friday. People always show up to those shows, which is a band of some friends of ours. It's more like a folk kind of thing, though.
Oh, I see.
With like a lot of pretty like diverse instrumentation.
Okay. Like they got a hurdy-gurdy.
Close.
Really? Do they have some sort of revolve? I don't know. I love hurdy-gurdies. I say that.
I think those are great.
Yeah.
I think, are they still recording right now? I'm not sure if they're still in the studio right now, but I wouldn't rule it out if one day I saw hurdy-gurdy posted to the Horse Named Friday. Instagram story.
But there's a pretty big range of music being made in Kitchener. There's a lot of screamo that's passed from like
it's Southern Ontario, baby. Yeah. It's screamo, baby. It's Southern Ontario. We're going to New Friends Fest. We're getting sucked off to New Friends Fest.
There's also underwater basket weaving's a really popular screamo type band from around here. They play in Toronto fairly frequently, I think. But yeah, there's a big struggle with venues in Kitchener-Waterloo right now, which is pretty unfortunate. With like the Golden Apple closed now, and I think I heard that there's there's two more that are trying to pop up. And
all those uptown bar venues just drop like flies. It's not great.
Yeah, it's hard to maintain rent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just no established bars are willing to put on shows in the area.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, but
are you saying that in Frankie Teardrop? You go to Jack Astor's, play Jack Astor. You know? Do your casual, fast casual.
I would love that, actually. I want nothing more than to play to a truly hostile audience. I think we've had a few close calls, but we have yet to have people like heckle and walk out. And I think I want to make that change. That's my 2026 goal.
You should find like a venue in Kitchener-Waterloo of like where that tech bros, that soulless guys that are like, yeah, my buddy 10x done on Nvidia, you know, guys that say shit like that.
Play a brunch set at Perimeter Institute.
Yeah. And you should play. What would be more fucked up is if they got really into it. That's like a danger.
Then we'd have to scrap it all and find
like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah. Frankie Teardrop. Obviously, the name I'm drawn to it. Is it a suicide reference, or is that just a guy in Kitchener-Waterloo?
Frankie was a good friend of mine. He worked in a factory. He was 20 years old. He killed his wife and kids.
Killed his wife and kids. Oh my god.
Good guy though. Good guy.
Yeah. No, I very much sympathize with Alan Vega because I'm also 40 years old and everyone else is 20.
Well, he lied about it for most of his life. It was, I feel like you could, if you hadn't just said it, you could shave a good decade.
I think I could pass for early 30s. Maybe not my 20s though. That's pushing it. I love Suicide so much. They're so good, you know.
It is probably the best record ever made.
Oh my god. Yeah. When did you discover that record?
I think that was also shortly before COVID, probably 2019. But then that was a huge COVID record for me because I would go outside at like 3 a.m. and get really high in the woods and listen to like that and 20 Jazz Funk Greats by Throbbing Gristle.
Oh my god.
And like some Coil stuff and just like get really, really terrified.
Yeah. It's perfect. It's perfect.
That was a good time.
I think that was also my introduction to that, or that's what when I first heard No Way, when I first heard all that like James Chance stuff, like what you said, that scary quality that it had, or that ability to I really like music that's about your subconscious, the stuff that's beneath the sort of egoistic or liminal statements that you produce. It has more dark poetry. It's a little dark and poetic.
It's a little fucked up. It's a little edgy.
It's a little fun. Let's get into your stuff. What I really like about your stuff is I really like your lyrics a lot. Because I don't know how many poetry events you've been to in a while, or how many, but I find that there's a lot of declarative poetry, like a lot of people saying just sentences with line breaks, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like maybe a little imagery. What about imagery? Think of a picture that describes the thing you're saying, and then describe that picture maybe. And you're doing the thing, which I like. You're doing the actual thing.
Yeah, it's definitely like a conscious effort. Like first, it started as a conscious effort not to like just be talking about my personal life or just be talking about like descriptive, prescriptive statements about the world. Or I think that is all like. Nobody is as insightful or smart as they think they are.
Yeah.
And then chasing that just further and further down the line, it just becomes more and more about like, I don't want like the lyrics to be singular. Like I don't want them to mean one thing or be about one thing or to be singular declarative statements. I want them to be like take on a world of their own. So
let's read some of them. Let's read some of them.
Oh God.
No, we're good. I'm telling you, they're good. Venusian Waltz. Do you love a cigarette? Or do you love a man? Do you love an alien? Let him take your hand. Is he from Jupiter or is he from Mars? What's with those eyes of his? Oh, big and red. Okay. I mean, that's imagery. That's imagery. You're telling a story right there. What spurred that on? Because that's very movie. Is that like a movie reference or something?
No. I mean, I was getting really into like UFO abduction stories.
Yeah.
For a time.
Skinwalker Ranch, baby.
And so that's the sample that comes in at the beginning and the end too, is a South African woman describing like alien abduction stuff. And quickly what I found is that it is a lot of like people just having wet dreams. It's like, it's really, really horny 99% of the time when people are telling alien abductions. Or it goes the other way. It's really like quite sad and traumatic. But I was really interested in like, in that as like an image of hope.
Yeah.
You know, and people looking for that kind of escape or that thing that makes them special or whatever it is. And I thought it was lovely and romantic, and I thought it was nice. So, you know, when it came time to put lyrics to a little waltz number, I figured, you know, what's more romantic than alien abduction?
Yeah. There is a sexual element to it usually.
Yeah.
A stranger from beyond imparts something to you.
Yeah.
Except of course when it's just traumatic or somebody's obviously covering for trauma, you know.
Yeah.
That's the other part. But yeah. I don't know. There is like who doesn't want to feel special? I've been chosen. Oh my God, me?
Mhm.
It's like
Exactly.
It's like when Patrick Swayze, but if Patrick Swayze was an alien and no one puts baby in the corner. And is his name Rupert or is he named Ben? Is it your lyrics are the funny?
Thank you.
And so this entire record, it's sort of like, I mean, because you stray away from declarative statements and it takes on this sort of impressionistic quality. It's like hard to pin down what it's about. I mean, it's about a lot of stuff, but do you have any like statement on what you think it's about?
That's a good, like the record as a whole.
Yeah, the record as a whole. Or a better question is, what were you feeling at the time that you recorded it?
I think, you know, especially like coming in with the idea of like, you know, the band I want to hear isn't playing right now.
Yes.
And so I wanted to make that band. So I think it's definitely like just trying to feel comfort and a home and being a little bit of a weirdo freak and having a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think a lot of the lyrics kind of tend towards finding a sense of community and being a little strange, a little fucked up.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm just trying to make my friends laugh, I think was the approach.
Yeah. I feel like Nightbreed all the time. Did you ever see Nightbreed?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Nightbreed. That's just what being in a queer community is like. It's Nightbreed. I don't know. Matilda, what were you feeling at the time?
Really, I just wanted to like make something.
Yeah.
And I mean, like some further context for the band is that the band used to be a 4-piece, and like played one show, but then there was a lot of months of nothing, and it kind of fell apart. And so Quartz and I were like, okay, let's like do something, and let's really, really commit to it, and let's figure out how to make this band again as something new, and something that we're both really, really passionate about. So it was really just us trying to, like all the songs on the record are like most of the songs that we wrote. There was a lot of like previous jams that we did, but like I think the only thing that made it from the previous incarnation of the band is Worm Song. That was something that was written as a 4-piece.
It's a good song, yeah.
But the rest of it was us just trying to figure out how to turn this into a 2-piece with a drum machine. And like a lot of it was just like, okay, what do we do now, and let's like figure out the best way to utilize what we have.
Yeah, we're big blacking it. Ikue Mori in this case is entirely a machine. There's no need to Yeah. I mean, I love the sound because it has that. I mean, Frankie Teardrop is an apt name because it has that sort of like scary, spacey suicide quality that you can really only get from a drum machine. I mean, drum
Yeah.
machines have that like there's a melancholic quality to a drum machine, you know?
Yes, yeah. There's something like very sad and empty about like not being able to have any fills on any song.
Yeah. And was it a struggle at first learning to play with it, or did you lapse into it naturally?
I mean, it definitely took a few practices, but as it came together, I felt a lot more confident in the sound, mostly because it was something new. It's like at least in terms of the bands we're playing with and the shows we're doing, it felt like something new. It felt like it felt a little easier to escape like the traps of you got four people in a band, we gotta have audience pleasing moments,
Mm-hmm.
and the more constraint shape the sound is, the less work I have to do. The more it's just decided for me, and I don't have to worry about composition or arrangement.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Where you have so much choice blindness that if you eliminate like a billion choices already, then it's like
exactly,
much easier. Yeah. What I
exactly.
like about the music too is it like, and I guess because I just also what I've been listening to really, you listen to a lot of Ethiopian jazz ever?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you listen to Getachew Makaria and all those guys,
Yeah,
and where it has the very repetitive modal riff, and then there will be this very gestural saxophone or piano solo over top of it,
yeah,
and usually on some sort of usually it's they're even just doing minor pentatonic scales a lot of the time, and it totally works because they
yeah.
have that fluttering speech quality to the way that they, and I hear the way that you play guitar is very reminiscent of that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was definitely, especially when I was getting into jazz, that was one of the major rabbit holes I fell down. So it definitely influences a lot of my play. Especially a lot of like the kind of chromatic run stuff,
Hmm.
and focusing on rhythm and groove while you're playing,
Hmm.
are definitely both things that I keep with my playing. That I really fell in love with Ethio jazz.
Oh yeah, I love all those. Do you have any specific guitar people that you enjoyed, Quartz?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, Arto Lindsay, of course, one of
Yeah,
the goats. Derek Bailey,
Derek
uh,
Bailey.
also,
These are
yeah.
names. These are
These are good
names that
names. These
yeah.
are good names. I really don't think there is like a free jazz guitar language without Derek Bailey.
Hmm.
So shows to the goat. Uh, um, Obviously, like huge Glenn Branca fan as well.
Okay.
His symphonic stuff as well. I adore. Reese
Sonny Sharrock.
Chavin.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. My favorite player right now is probably Mary Halverson.
Mary Halverson. Yo, there's a
Yeah,
name. There's a name. I love her. Yeah.
and it is so consistent too. Two fucking brilliant records pretty much every single year from her.
Are you an Ava Mendoza fan?
Oh, absolutely! I've been so Ava
Yes.
Mendoza pilled
Ava
recently.
Mendoza, baby. Everyone should listen to her.
I was seeing her do the thing where you put the guitar up to your neck and then you hum and the notes come through, and I
Yeah,
thought
that
that
shit
was super
rules.
cute.
That shit fucking rules. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. It's weird being like a guitar person, but not one of those because I see like normal guitar people who are like, I like Randy Rhoads, Jim Moran.
I always find that like inexplicable to me. Like I guess it's
Yeah.
just different strokes for different folks, but I can't imagine like devoting yourself so wholly to the instrument and being like, "Well, I've learned my scales and now I can put
Yeah.
it down," you know?
Yeah, or God, or it's just like such a different. And I don't balk at any of this because like a different version of me was like a much snottier music
Mm,
snob, and now I think my stuff is just as dumb as anything.
yeah.
I'm not like, but I'm still like a hater at heart. I'm still like a ruthless, vicious, like you should be put down, you should be beaten with an oar for your crimes against.
Amen.
Yeah, and someone showed me Polyphia. And What is the funniest thing we've ever seen? There's the most beautiful boy in the world. He is the worst guitar tone of all time.
Yeah,
No,
there's
but
a lot of Jacob Collier's everywhere. Like,
oh my god! I just saw what that was. I didn't know that was a thing until like today. Oh my god!
Yeah, he's been high on my hate list for a little while now.
Yeah, me too. Like a couple of years. I hate that guy.
What's the deal with? Is it like he? I feel like just because he acts like Amelie, people think he's some sort of musical wonderkind. Because he's like, oh, that is a song in everything. Oh, apparently you just have to act like fucking I Am Sam, and people will be like, God, no, sorry.
It's like getting really good at music and then thinking it's like street magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he's like the David Blaine.
There's a lot more craft to David Blaine.
Solo concertos or whatever he does.
But I mean, he's like he grew up as like a rich British kid and like grew up like with perfect pitch, so he's been like a musical prodigy like his whole life. I think this has like infected his brain or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you get like too good at music too young, you're just like permanently stunted. Like you'll never relive the high of young Einstein or little Einstein or whatever it is. You spend the rest of your life going dee da doo da doo.
I mean, it's like the way that I put it is, did you ever watch Enter the Dragon?
I don't think I did.
I don't think so.
The old Bruce Lee movie, Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon. I don't know why I heard Andrew the Dragon.
Andrew the Dragon. Did you ever see Enter the Dragon? And Enter the Dragon.
I have Enter the Dragon on Blu-ray sitting right above me right now.
It's so good. Lalo Schifrin, soundtrack, John Saxon, Jim Kelly, and of course Bruce Lee. But there's a scene right at the beginning where he's coaching his student. He's giving a lesson, and he says something that I find an old Buddhist adage that I find very instructive about like a lot of approach to art or music, which is like it's like a finger pointing at the moon. Don't look at the finger, or you miss all that heavenly glory, right? And that can mean a lot of stuff. You know, I think in the original context, it's like it basically means don't get too caught up in rules and miss the bigger picture for, you know, some sort of technical exercise. And I think there's a lot of that can occur with someone like Jacob Collier, where the sort of technical exercise of the thing gets in the way of actually like feeling it, you know? And I mean, that's what I like about free jazz, because it's just pure feeling it. Or like the people that, I mean, that's the difference between like good and bad free jazz is like you can tell usually the people who feel it, you know, versus the people that are just going squiggly, you know, and think that's it. They're just doing the tropes of it as opposed to listening and responding. I don't know. Do you have any moral directives when it comes to art like that or something?
Yeah, I think my true moral standing on art is the second you're thinking like, the people will dig this, you give up.
Yeah.
If it doesn't like, if you're not sitting there and being like, what the fuck is this? Then there's no point in putting it out. If you know exactly what it is, then the audience is going to be like twice as perspective or susceptible to that, and they're going to see right through it.
Yeah. No, we're trying to write hits, man. We're trying to write hits. Yeah.
We're after that geese money.
Yeah, we want that. We're doing big geese. We're Cameron Wintering all of it. I'll shuffle down the roll. Everyone does their stupid Cameron Winter impression. Gypsies, tramps, and thieves. No, that's Cher. It's great.
He's not as different as you think.
No, he's part of the Cher spectrum of singers. It goes Cher, Eddie Vedder, Cameron Winter. You ever just even flow your life? You know,
all the time.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Oh my god!
I think it's from Cops, and this guy's getting arrested, and he starts singing that to the cop. I think about
even
that.
Flow.
Yeah. Ladies head on pillow made of concrete. And he goes, "Do you know Pearl Jam, dude? Dude, do you know Pearl Jam?"
Oh my god! Let's talk about more of your White Marxist blues. is this like an examination of your own sort of like, I frequently write songs about, I have all these political ideas, but I don't act on them because I feel inured by maybe some sort of comfort, or maybe there's some, or is it commenting on that? Is it about something else entirely?
No, I mean, it's pretty well that. It was like, first, we had like a bit of a blues beat going, and so I wanted to do a bluesy number. I wanted to play a blues scale, and I thought it would be pretty disingenuous of me to pretend like this was any sort of authentic blues.
Yeah.
I'm a white Marxist, and that's all I got to sing about. So it was definitely just trying to be conscious of that up front and not present it as anything other than what it is. And then also, once again, like, just trying not to take myself too seriously, trying to have fun with it, trying to tell jokes, while not like compromising, what I do genuinely think and believe.
Yeah. I mean, it's always that line of like, you take something as seriously as possible, while still just that weird. Because what's the opposite? Have you ever seen like a band that takes themselves way too seriously and doesn't have that jokes release valve? And like,
yes.
You don't have to name names, but can you like give an can you describe that experience of like participating in a show with one of those bands?
Yeah, it's just rough because it doesn't matter where they are on the bill, it becomes their show. That gets a little annoying, and I don't know. I think ultimately, like, this is a very frivolous thing everyone is doing. And the first thing is, it's bad. It's rough to play with when somebody has that attitude. But I think it also really hurts what you put out, because the second you're taking yourself that seriously and you're like, I'm a genius, it's clear that you are, putting together a product that you think people will interpret as genius. You're after that geese money at that point.
We're getting the geese money.
Yeah.
It like really like cheapens what you're doing, and like if you're very clearly putting on an act, like I just like, I don't want to see it. Like I don't want to be associated with that.
Yeah.
Rehearsed stage banter. Give up.
Yeah. It's just like, it's so disingenuous.
Yeah.
I like, I mean, I think that was the experience of Instagram for me. It was people like that like, you have to create this floating image of yourself, this idea of you that takes on this greater, whereas to me it's like, or the value of free jazz, or like what you've just described in this past hour, is the fact that you exist within a community. It's not about any single one person, but the fact that you're doing it together and there's a variety of you all participating.
Yeah.
That being said, I would love to be worshipped like a god. That would be awesome.
I say all this, and then the second you put that mic in front of me, I'm like, I gotta look good for the cameras.
Yeah, I am a beautiful genius, and but there's some people that like don't. I think every performer has that, but like the good ones have enough self-awareness to tamp the worst aspects of it down, and some people do not. And I find that the ones that do not often achieve the most success. Yeah. Because I think you need that to some degree, that like belief that you're delivering something to people that people need to hear in order to really hustle, but maybe not,
No, there's, as when we cut mics, I'll go over the list of Frankie Teardrop non-approved local acts.
Okay. No, but yeah, I think. Yeah, I maybe I'll be that band. We hope to be that band in the sea. We hope to be the band. Oh God, these assholes! We'll be Crystal Castle. No, I don't know. Look, Toronto has a great legacy of music. Drake, Crystal Castles, fantastic acts. Oh God. I mean, that's my, I mentioned Drake, but that's also one of the reasons why I'm trying to do this is like, I see Montreal thinks they're so big with their, with their art culture, but Toronto and Southern Ontario got stuff going on too,
Yeah.
No, but there is this chip I mentioned because I do see all of these like great, weird, and especially there's something about the regionality of Southern Ontario, like Hamilton and Kitchener and London and Toronto, where the fact that so many screamo acts are produced, I think it speaks to the utter desolation of this region. Because I don't know what it was. Did you both grow up here?
I did not actually.
Okay.
I'm from a military family, so I grew up in a bunch of different places growing up.
Mm.
But my teenage years were spent in Ottawa, which has a very okay scene. It's a lot of hardcore,
Yeah.
but also not something that I was like. I didn't really go to shows in like high school, which is like disappointing to me now. But I didn't really get into like local stuff until I moved out here.
Yeah. But what was but Ottawa has the same sense of regionality. It has the same desolation as Kitchen. You're heading out to the Glebe. No, it's a fucking wasteland in the Glebe,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But there is that also produces that hardcore, the Ottawa hardcore, that produces bands like Mets, where it's like, what is that quality of Ontario? That sort of grinding, I would call it the grinding generic concreteness that speaks to the hellishness, the building hellishness within your soul. I have no idea how to describe it. But I think that's what Frankie Teardrop is getting at. That's part of the conversation. That's what all these screamo bands are getting at too.
Yeah, I definitely want people to be like imagining a giant tiger.
Yeah, precisely. There's something deeply giant tiger about my music and your music. Yeah. Or just other stuff. Cops Coliseum. We're the Cops Coliseum of music, I think. I think like I'm also like I think the what I went to Montreal a bunch because I got friends there and everyone's nice. And the thing of Montreal that I would say it's an amazingly cool city and the art scene is bumping, but I couldn't be there because we're talking about bands that don't have that sense of humor release valve. Every band there is like that. It's like, God, you people take yourself seriously. I know it's because you live in a city that's like looks like a real city as opposed to a Disney Channel reimagining of a city. But like, geez,
Yeah, that checks out to me.
Yeah, and what is your experience of like have you toured much beyond Southern Ontario, or is it just been this region?
No, I mean it has been entirely this region so far. My other band Sermon is going on a tour.
Hell yeah!
At the end of May, and we'll be heading out to the Frenchlands.
Ooh,
on that tour. So that'll be my first time playing out in Quebec. But I've visited a fair few times, and no matter where I go or what I'm wearing, I always feel like I'm underdressed.
Yeah, no, everyone's so cool. Yeah, no, everyone's and
suddenly
it's like,
my James Chance T-shirt isn't obscure.
Oh God, that one has a Garo T-shirt. I like the idea of a bunch of like free jazz people sizing each other up like the card seeing in American Psycho. Oh my God.
I did like not too long ago. I was in a big group conversation about free jazz, and I started talking about like some Sun Ra records I really love, and then everyone was like, "Oh, that's pedestrian."
That's entry level. That's entry level. Yeah, Lanquidity. What are you, a faggot? What are you? That's baby's first free jazz, you idiot.
Whatever. I still think it rips.
Yeah. Roscoe Mitchell, shove it up your ass, motherfucker.
Yeah, but then the rest of that conversation was just like head down, head in my hands, going, "Yeah, I know Evan Parker.
I know Evan. Yeah,
I swear.
I know Chris Corsano. I know all of them. Yeah. Yeah, it's there's something funny about that. Like you said it before, the sort of desire to seek this music out, it comes from that strange challenge yourself quality. Like, why do I have that? Why do you think you have that quality in you, that challenge myself quality?
That's a good question. I think like predominantly, I just think it is like a good way to become a better, like more complete, not more complete, you feel better about yourself, if you feel like even in the stuff you do for your free time, the stuff you do like with a beer and smoking weed, you are improving at it on some strange metric.
Yeah.
And being able to understand more of it. So it definitely comes from that. And then also, I don't know, I guess it's just like I like a good Hellraiser torture chamber.
Yeah.
I've decided for the next 2 hours I'm listening to like some long ambient symphonic work, and I'm like, all right, we're just gonna bare knuckle it. It definitely feels good to try that stuff.
No, I think I can remember or something that inspired the dopamine rush when you have that feeling. Because I once asked my dad, "What's the scariest movie you've ever seen?" And he said Eraserhead, and he was hyping it up like this gave me nightmares for weeks. And so I watched it when I was like 16 in a dark room, and it's scary, but it's like it's not. I was like, that was it. There's a sperm and there's a guy, there's a lady with a big face. That's what you were scared of. So I'm invincible. This is the scariest movie of all time. I'm fucking invincible. And there's almost like that sense of. There is like almost a weird sense of power you get when you listen to music that not everyone else has the ability to withstand, Yeah.
There's definitely like a large section of it that is just like fueling my ego to be like, this morning I tracked down 50, like a bunch of like live performances of Boris Police Band. Nobody else is doing this shit.
Yeah. But I do think there is like, I sometimes think it's like that desire to have some sort of peace of mind by liking something more obscure or something more unique. But then I think about like, you ever just listen to like, because I'm so out of the loop. I have no idea what's currently, like I didn't know who Addison Rae was until like last week, And
Addison Rae. What about Addison Barger?
Hey, big ol' AP, big ol', what an arm he's got. Throwing from, we got to get him in right field. He's got a rocket right to fucking third base. I tell you that much. First ever pinch hit grand slam.
That shit rocked.
That shit was so good.
He was saying he wants to be the first position player to throw 100 from the mound.
Honestly,
I would love to see that.
I'd believe that. He was cute, and then I found out he's 24, and I feel like an old, I'm gross. God, these athletes are so young,
It is scary, like waking up one day and like athletes are younger than you now when you turn on the TV.
Yeah, but much younger than me. Like George Springer is like old man Springer, and he's my age, So it's like he's falling the fuck apart.
I am worried about a little regression this season, but you know what? I trust him.
For Springer. I don't know. I think Popkins has it. I think Popkins has the juice. This is true. I think the strength of the batting has been getting batters to do what they're good at, not trying to fit them into some sort of like TTO mold. And that's why the Jays were so exciting last year. They weren't doing TTO baseball. They weren't doing Dodgers baseball. They were doing like a type of thing where a couple guys hit a couple singles and then the bases are struck up and here's Alejandro. He can slug sometimes. And that's a much more exciting game to me.
Agreed.
Than stupid single home run fucking Dodgers baseball. Eat shit. And the fact that they won off that too. The fact that they won off a series of single home runs. The deepest offense to... Sorry, I'm off on a rant here. I'm off on a rant here. I'm going to get on the Gate 14 podcast. Sorry. Got me talking about baseball again. Got all up in arms about baseball. We've been talking for an hour now, and I think that's usually an hour is the time you end podcasts at. Quartz, Matilda, do you have any plugs?
Come see Frankie Teardrop shows.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The record's out on Bandcamp. Delete your Spotify. Delete your YouTube Music, whatever.
Delete all streaming services that you subscribe to.
I want to plug Soulseek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say my Subway take is that movies are too long nowadays.
What movies?
Marty
Supreme? Was Marty Supreme too long?
Yeah, sure. Why not? You know, if it's over 80 minutes, I think you can take it back into the editing room.
That take makes me feel unsafe, like an underage girl on a Softy Brothers movie set.
Ayo.
Ayo. No.
Smashing Machine was pretty good though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you can come see me, my band, Anti-Spectacular, and Frankie Teardrop play at Collective Arts on March 5th. And you can pick up some delicious Collective Arts brews along with that. They used to have a goes that was a cilantro and Himalayan salt goes, and it was great for a pretentious fucking asshole like me. It tasted like salt. It was great. Wow, this alcohol tastes like salt. It's astonishing.
We played Collective Arts Hamilton not too long ago, and they had like this ginger IPA thing. And then I started drinking it, like really genuinely like burnt my nose. Like it was nice. So strong. It was awesome. I do endorse the beer as well. I can wholeheartedly say I enjoy their offerings. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Do you have anything to leave us with? Well, I already said my Subway take. You know, if we have 10 minutes of your time, I'd like to do an a cappella rendition of Frankie Teardrop.
Okay.
Real quick.
Of the original Suicide song.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, we're going right now. Let's start right now, and then we'll.
If this mysteriously cuts off here, it's because it went horribly wrong.
Yes, it's not going to cut off. You will not expect it. Whatever I'm going to do, you'll start singing and I'm not going to cut it off. I'm not going to cut it off. You can fully anticipate.
Yep. All right. So that was Frankie Teardrop.
That was Frankie Teardrop. What an amazing song. Wow, you did such a great job of that. I wasn't expecting so much melisma. Wow.
Oh, what's this? I'm seeing a corrupted audio message. I don't know what that's.
I don't know what that is. That could be anything. Lose
that 10 minutes. Of that beautiful
it was 10 minutes. It was like what's his face singing "Oh Comely," and everyone being like, "Holy shit!" Thank you so much for being on Quartz and Matilda.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day.
Thank you for having us. This is great.
House of Decline is brought to you by members of our $10 Patreon tier. These include Fiat Lux, Jody Shen, Daniel Stern, Stephen Bickelny, Miles Forrester, Big Fan of Noise, TC, Karibo Shu, Garf Dude, Lisley Adams, LJ Amber, Jordan Rabe, Keaton Livingston, Niraj Kumar, Grant Williams, Trungles, Peter Romine, Freya, Janelle, Champ Champenstein, Danielle Crawford, Big Blue Banu, Michael Shelton, Junie V, Claire Brown, Vivi Ingram, Mantra Beeg, Bird, Colin McLeod, Gavin Gaddis, and OnlyFans. Thank you so much for your contributions. You're lovely and wonderful, and many great tidings will be had in the future. I can promise this. This is a guarantee. You can sue me if this doesn't happen. Don't do that. That was a joke. That was a joke!